Hello everyone! In this week's video, I'm drawing myself into 3 anime screenshots. It is time once again to draw myself into some anime scenes. My last one of these kinda had a theme. I drew myself into older anime that aired when I was a kid. This time there isn't really a theme, I kinda just picked whichever anime I felt like drawing myself into. And one of them was highly requested by many of you, so let's get started. The first anime I'm drawing myself into is Inazuma 11 Ares. My sister Reagan is a big fan of this show and she kept suggesting that I draw myself into it, so I am this time. So I'm drawing myself into the scene where Aurelia Dingle is giving the players their special bracelets. For my base, I'm using a different screenshot from the same scene. It takes place just a couple seconds before the screenshot that I'm drawing myself into. This makes it so my base is in the same perspective and fits in nicely, but it's in a slightly different pose. I'm going to start by tracing out the edges of the characters in the scene because my character will be behind everyone else, so I need to know where to cut off my drawing so that I don't overlap the other characters. And now it's time for the part of the video where I explain that
using a base helps me draw in the same style and makes the art look very convincing. If I didn't do this, I would end up drawing closer to my style instead of the style of the anime. This is just for fun. I'm not trying to claim this as my own or deceive people, so please don't get mad at me for tracing.
I say this in each video, but I always feel the need to explain myself. Also, if you don't know what I look like, here's a picture of myself. So I figured that if I was in the Inazuma universe, I would be a manager like Aurelia. So I probably work with her, or I'm like her assistant or co-manager. I've never been very sporty, so I probably wouldn't be on the team. So yeah, if I'm ever in a sports anime, I'll probably always be the manager. After tracing over my base, it was time for line art. As usual, I'm using the 4 Effect line pen. It stays a consistent size, so it works well for anime line art. It doesn't have any line variation to it. So Inazuma characters can look very unique, and some of them look really, odd. I tried to make myself look more unique by making the hair strands on the back of my head really pop out and make my eyebrows like really thick instead of just kinda thick. So yeah, I tried to make myself look a little bit interesting. Like I mentioned, my sister is a big fan of Inazuma 11, and she is the one who suggested I draw myself into it. I have watched it with her. Well, I like kind of half watched it. She would turn on the dubbed version and I would sit next to her while drawing in my sketchbook. It's a decent anime. I feel like I could get more into it if it didn't have the special moves. I understand that the special moves are there because this anime is based on a video game, but like the special moves are just kind of crazy and very unrealistic, so it kind of just takes me out of the show. But overall, the anime did kind of entertain me. My sister's favorite character is Elliot, and for a long time she hated Heath. She doesn't anymore. It's just the first time she watched through it, she kind of thought Heath was interfering with her ship, so she didn't like him. So when I watched a few episodes with her on her second watch through, she asked me who do I like more between Heath and Elliot, and I said, from what I've seen, I like Heath more than Elliot, and her face was so disappointed. But like, it's always so funny how Heath is just trying to make Dusk eat more food all the time. Like whenever they're eating food, he's just giving all the food to Dusk. I think my favorite character is Dusk. I don't know, he's cool. But yeah, when I told my sister I liked Heath more than Elliot, she was very disappointed. So enough about the anime, I'll talk a bit about the coloring process. The coloring process was pretty simple. Aurelia had a lot of my colors in her color scheme, so this made things really simple for me. I just had to make the colors a bit darker for my hair. But yeah, it was a pretty simple process. The highlights and shadows aren't super fancy or anything, so it didn't take me too long. And here is me in Inazuma 11 Ares. My siblings got a kick out of seeing me in it. Shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare has tons of classes on many different topics like animation, creative writing, illustration, and so much more. One class you may find intriguing is Animating Your Illustrations with After Effects by Manon Luart. This class is great for illustrators who want to dip their toes in animation but don't want to fully commit to the extensive frame-by-frame process. You'll learn how to animate your illustrations for Instagram, from organizing your layers with animation in mind in Photoshop, all the way to exporting it in video and GIF format. Skillshare is created specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. You can even try it for free. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The next anime I'm drawing myself into is one of my favorites, and it is Kimi ni Todoke, also known as From Me to You. So in this scene, Chizu and Yano are talking and Sawako comes up behind them. This really scares them, and I'll explain why in a little bit. I thought it'd be fun to draw myself being startled, so I'm going to copy over Yano and use her as my base. So the reason Chizu and Yano are scared of Sawako is because people in Sawako's school find her creepy and think she is weird and can like see ghosts and stuff. She can't, by the way. Sawako is the main character, and she is very shy, and people often misunderstand her because she looks like a character from a scary movie, and people actually mess up her name and call her Sadako, which is the name of the character from the scary movie. Sawako and Sadako sound a lot alike, so they confuse her name. So yeah, people think she is scary, but she's really nice and she wants to make friends. Kimi ni Todoke is one of my favorite shoujo anime. It's so cute and I love a lot of the characters. I actually have all 30 volumes of the manga. I got them for Christmas one year. I told my mom I was interested in getting the series when Barnes & Noble was having a buy 2 get 1 free sale. So yeah, my mom was able to get a fairly good deal on them and saved them for Christmas. At first I was going to include my eyes on my face, but I thought it'd be funnier if my glasses covered my eyes and they were really stylized. This is a common thing to do in anime, but this is the first time I'm drawing my glasses like this on myself. I tried to draw a very startled expression. Also, here's what Yano usually looks like. I feel like this scene doesn't do her or the style justice. The art style is really pretty, it's just the characters look kind of funny in this scene. Once again, filling in my base colors was simple because a lot of my colors were in this scene already, so I was able to use the eyedropper tool a lot. There also isn't much for shading. The shading is very minimalistic, so that process was also very simple. One part that was very tricky was replicating the speed line effect. This was very hard. I kept playing around with the settings on my brush to make it match up. I would erase and blur and draw. It took a lot of fiddling around to try to get it to look similar. I didn't get it to perfectly match, but if you don't look super closely, I feel like it blends in okay. At least I hope it does. So here's me in Kimi ni Todoke. I kind of want to watch this anime again or reread the manga. I haven't watched or read the manga in a long time. So the last anime is one that a ton of you wanted to see me in. I've never personally watched it until making this video because it's not the kind of anime I usually watch. Anyways, last but not least, we have Demon Slayer. So the scene I'm drawing myself into is where the main character Tanjiro is going to the village. Earlier in the episode, there was a scene where Tanjiro's sister Nezuko is talking to him while holding one of their younger siblings. I thought I could use this as my base and place it into the background of this scene. I don't have any kids, but I am the oldest of 8 children, so I thought I could hold my little brother Jack on my back. This is the first time I'll be drawing one of my siblings into a scene with me. A lot of my other siblings thought it was kind of funny that Jack got to be included. I didn't want to draw myself into any of the more action-y scenes, so when looking for parts of the episode that I could draw myself into, I stuck with like the first 10 minutes of the first episode. Like I mentioned, this anime isn't really my cup of tea. I don't handle violence or dark themes very well, but I can see why people like it. I did watch the entire first episode. I had to look away at times and take out my earbuds. But the premise of the show is interesting, and it's touching to see the connection and bond between Tanjiro and Nezuko. Like, it kind of made me tear up a little bit. Plus the art style and animation is like really well done. It's really pretty. I love how the animation looks, except for when it goes a little creepy. But yeah, I can definitely see why people watch this anime. It's just not totally for me. So doing the line art was kind of interesting. It is very thin and I am small on the screen, so the line art got really pixelated. I felt like I was doing line art pixel art. Also, I used no line variation like I usually do, but then when I was looking at the style more, I noticed there was some line variation, so I went back and added that later. Especially on the blanket thing that is wrapped around Jack and I, that had a lot of line variation when I was studying it. So yeah, I probably won't watch any more episodes of this anime, but I did have fun drawing myself into it, and I got to draw a tiny anime Jack, so that was fun. Lastly, I'm working on the shading, and I had a direct reference to copy from, so adding the shading and stuff was pretty simple. I just had to look at Nezuko. All of Nezuko's things are pink, and I decided to make mine teal because I like teal. I also like pink, but I didn't want to totally copy Nezuko's like aesthetic. Oh, also, I added a little pattern to my outfit. I imagine animating these characters with pattern outfits is really tricky. Especially Tanjiro's outfit, how it has all the squares and stuff. I would not want to be in charge of animating that. So here is me and Jack in Demon Slayer. I hope that all of you that requested this anime are pleased with this result. I always enjoy drawing myself into anime scenes, so this was a lot of fun. If you have any other anime suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below. Oh, but before we end the video, I'm excited to show you all this month's Patreon mail pack. It has 2 prints, stickers, and a mystery item. I had a lot of fun making the print this month. It stars my original characters, Faith, Chloe, and Phil. Also, I want to say thank you so much to my lovely patrons for their support, including Harmon, It's Junior Pizarro, Jacob, Nightmage14, Marco Perez, Puka, Purple Jessie, Rebel Star Girl, Remy Ray, Rogelio, Walter, Rachel, Aaron, Kamurocho Kitsune, Patrick, Amanda, Ava, and Kay, Andrew, Artist Ever After, Brianna Each, Cloudy Diana, Eduardo, Gundam Tanaka, Hollow Studio, Jeff, Cosmic Dragon, Laughing Raven, Lu6562, Rachel S., Robert, Tamalam, Trash Oracle, Twin Bonnie, Zella, Tori, and Choxino. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next week in my next video. Bye!